Mami Maya Shofo nyina kwa Bashonko Enfambra Showdown Jumedie so ewo Kumasi Online TV, Friends of Ken TV, and our Facebook TV Showdown de ekoso o my Ghana. And a Monday ekosi Friday na ya so me betna fidie manum say neja mapensa ni nyina mu neja de metuja nso de na matuja ede ama wo mo mehwe wonya subscribe to channels na mehwe so be subscribe de ama me wo subscribe we ja Jumedie dane de nyina no menemo a na edi ntino do adwenche so be fa comment section asenso ede ama me wi a no wa share video we ama onu ebi no ja ono so wa share ede ama obi foforo eja na ya se watena se de ekoso o my Ghana de ni nyina no ba be som munim so ba ya de minsuro hwe ya na mi de asem ne se de ete no mesi ni pay ne busua maye dai maka ni pay asem ne ye no kurenko ade nya de afiansa na me de ba be dane na me be tu se bi da bi no kura me ka wo fidie manum se emfa wo ni nipa a wo ye emfa wo ni nipa ban emfa wo se nipa no me yada na se me yada no ya de na nye nko ade a me fa ya no wo fidie manum se na de obeya de so sefata so se me boda ba so de busua ya de me bona ba so wo fidie manum se ye the social stories be so mo sa so na national issues politics NPP ni NDC especially NPP amanyoko ne sansa wo mo na enche kra no wo mo de wo mo kokromoti akwakoto aba flag bearer obedi wo manim kind that is 2028 na wo ma hwe se NDC aban se de wo mo so ba ye ya wo mo gu adwuma yi wo mo betumi ayi kunwa no de afiri wo mo to ase ntene me betena ha Mondays kosi Fridays dia de ekoso ni nyina no na ma pense mu de ama mo so adane de nyina no aya na mo jebre mo comment especially Emilia nyankopon ensha ye papa mo a mo share video we ni ade mo a mo hwe wo Thick TV Friends of Ken Kumasi Online TV dane de nyina no ade am ya appreciate mu nyina ye papa na enne de nso de abusua de ekoso o my Ghana nti na magi judge asemde ni nyina no ba be so mo ne Wednesdays communicators ba be ka me ho wo fidie manum say na ya twetwe enkomo saso na hana ATP wodin sameja aba wankrata ne mu na ya de obeba be pense ni nyina mu de amaye na ensame so de mabone bede ankasa miri ni nyina no esom miri ne nana ya sewa me se mo mbre no ma me enwre mu me kodi na acha ne enkomo twetwe ni bi e be koso ye nuanum kokombafo ane wo ma ba bonti aba be kasa ne nyina no efa tribal politics agese ne epegya ni musu ewo NPP amanyoko ni mu a wo mo de ye twapia ewo wo ma no kokombafo aba be san wo muti e de afiri mu sa so na Kennedy akompre ko hene Japan no so wedi enkomo bi ebusua ne nkoma wedi no metina metie asem na mse papa we de sanka NPP amanyoko da ne de nyina me betina fidie manum se na ko wo mutie ma sopemu a anke ni kwan kra sanko obi ni Kennedy apre e wosanko omo ma Kennedy akonya ne se ko na ko lead party na ko gi inkunimdie ebre party because maka kire mo se NDC amanyoko ne ye mampeni and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama oko 2028 na nadwuma ni nyina aba na wie ye NDC fo entumi mfa ne nkobium eye dan ya NDC fo be yi candidate foforo se onomra na ombedi wo manim se be ye Julius Debro se be ye Siedun Ketie o se be ye Sami Jemfi o se be ye Okuja to abloko ehye wo mo ankasa wo mo to nipa na wo mo de ne beba no so on hwe se wo be kwa 1 term there bi obepre se obetwa 8 years na ye imagine se de ne Ghana fo ti ni Ghana for baby a obefe bia no wo mo bo akompre ko hene Japan din se wono ni obi a wo mo pe na se NPP amanyoko na se delegate the police station executives wo ma fa akompre ko hene Japan na mba no wo mo sa akofa alaji 38 sad de babioma yembisa se na NPP amanyoko no mo betena fie sei na je se 12 solid years nti no NPP o NDC o ye ne de obi besie ye de ye team de obeba bia no de ye hwehwa ne se nipa no beba bebu o man no my Ghana betumpon na my Ghana be fa ne ntuma pefra Kennedy nkoma abusua na wa nsem a wode eto abonten no in fact nsem na anu ohye ankasa saso na afanyoma kings wono so edi nkomo bia ne nyina no ye be rewura honom na eja ya twehwe enkomo de afa ho na anu ade be me betena fidiem hanum se ka chem se ade a NPP amanyokuo no wo mo bibia wo mo friend proxy voting na sa proxy voting ni candidate 5 a wo mo gina nyina say yemfa kokromoti ne nto omo so aba no emu 4 ese wo mo nje proxy vote ne ndi ba ko be die wan de obi besie why se nsuo wo chinemu anani abedi a wo pese proxy vote no etumi ba so e bia na wo nte proxy vote na se ekọ anim no meto mebo mechirechire me na ebekọ ahoma ne so akwa akwadhwe enkomo ene ade nyina. Now over the weekend, Agyapong one of the media stations, everybody in TV3. Ninyina no program bi a womo ya sa program no political show to say the other day na me betina video man say meye. Na yetonsa the friend Dr. Dumfa and a Professor Agyapong. Ebia wunnim Professor Agyapong ye papa ya meka ne say 3-4 years ago. Ni video bi ba abonte a or university lecture or kira de Legon. Video ba abonte na chesa baba we bia wose na de hua nko yie ya obesa nkeja wo ko hu ne neja wo kire na de kakra so ko wie che na papa ye allegedly we kwa de allegedly bi anim because audios ni ade na na etwegu watam ne be ma de ato ne kon ho na wo ka che oba so oba ne mesra no ma oba ne hye short ni kese on hye de at least oba be attracting na nya bibia na ye school a chese be gitre ha wo bebia na obi e ka se ba no university lecturers idia chese wo mu bi wo hono ma wo mu be ma ne de abusua tokro biada yade abe ma ne bewura mu obi wo hono ma wo ko school ni grace nya ne ade wo be hu lecture na bia lecture bia yade ya wo be kire ye menti ase ebo ame kakra onu atam ne be ma na ode ato ne kwa ho na wo kwa akopɛ tokro bebi na ode de be ma no akwa akohye na sa o incident ye abusua ekoda ye ene na anu ada TV3 fo wo mu program a wo mu ye ena eja ye ma Professor Agyapong ye ma na kwanya no won fa nanum nsam nto wo ye wi a na eja Dr. Dumfe ono so ye ma na kwanya no so ono so fa nanum nsam enfa nto ho na Professor Agyapong akasa wie Dr. Dumfe ba be kasa no en wo ba be kasa o so obi ti say Professor Agyapong ebra no ye president wo UTAG no na de ba ko anu ota eye pan ne se oye so politically oriented sanko obi anko obegina mfimfin menye NPP ni menye NDC ni asam ne sade etin mi si de pay na makane pay no according to Dr. Dumfe en wo be kire say Professor Agyapong de oye too political chese we yi nanim ase NDC na wakasa asem ni wieye no eja Professor Agyapong so anya ne de ena Professor Agyapong so be so say masa eto de bia me dadwen ho kura say we academia na medwen ho amenti ase iti records be na say dem pan ye hwehwe ye nti enam so a ebe ma wo be ye lecture e we God and de wakasa asem ne so kire Dr. Dumfe na no so etu ne sa kom en wo no so be respond be ka say awenga wo so a wo ye lecture je say what Obama de ato ko ho agese tokro bia no wode Obama be rem de no so no yenka ne se na ne abusua be ye heated ene ne eja wo mu exchange blows ni ade echa se ntoko asi ye wo TV3 premises no na nya asem ketwa yen de eja yen ya ye be ka ho asem ya ka ho asem awie yenim sa asem yi akoda afi ye da sole ya Professor Agyapong ne lawyers wo meteblim letter ten de ababonte a letter na omde ababonte no wo mu eche se eyade Dr. Dumfe nsem na wo kanye no won bra bonten no mesesa na no na wansa so embepa ne chew and the lawyers and there's a statement na ba bonten we na lawyer question ono so di efutu efutu no anu ohia nkasa de aba bonten say Professor Agyapong you legon ho a wo kire de yi amafu bebre kita wo records nanu ade beto abe fontentan fidie so comment section na se ababa we bi shukura ba be kase onimuye papa eba ne se won fa wo be manto ko wachi a wo ya ade tokuro bia wo pese wo wura mu bi ena lawyer kwesi na tu Professor Agyapong say emani try cross ade we be mana ba be ye court sensem wo munyi free court wo mum refie na wo mum be ka wo masem na asem ni fancy ho a se Professor Agyapong ntie na wo koso aye no ye be court evidence ni niam e be ba bonten se Professor Agyapong allegedly eyade a wo guess enya asem ketwa na me amiti he die busua mehu a lot of amanfo a wo mo so churo comment ni ade na papa we boni odi edi ye papa we die wa ye me so die kamea ka Professor Agyapong ye be serew asem eda honum na ma wo machi a enkopre wo se bulldog krama kakraka de obi fie ya chiro beware of dogs edi asay honum beware of dogs wo weni wohu krama yi po a wo te wo dia wo still na mi kohri wo die sim na kohri wo ni sim na krama ne bewe wa wo bi na aya na we dia be na mebu nti mesre so obetie na hwopam dia mesre wo ne Dr. Domfa mu nyina mo kira de wo legon mo solve mu issue na mo masem no ensi honum na bebi a wo keka kone ade yi die wan hwe ye ya na jese de 3 years ago video e ba abonte wan hwe na akwa akosen enom metwa so dia ma mo hwe de ne na kum chacha wonu hwe di nkomo bi na chacha ne nkoma wedi nyina ne se NDC amanyo kwori de ohun se yeden ya 2028 eyade a NDC party no ebetumi edi nkuni mesan se NPP party no akwakwa yese Genesis 11 and full of confusion just meto mebusa nka me kai Genesis 11 ni na ebuhia ma ba be chire mu ma kaya mi huni ti no me huni nan nti efiansa na mate ase na enti akum chacha ka se NPP amanyo kwoni sisi ano it is full of confusion who read the crowd one tiase who ni ti and who ni 90 just say Genesis 11 said the tie no sa na MPP party no ababeye okasa ye edify enkabom hu ebe kire say enkabom eni MPP party ni mu a wo mo forget na 2028 election enya dia ebetimi afa ede ama wo mo sa so enana kunedu Ajimai Rollins ye first fourth republic ye first female first lady our dad benkum show last month no nyame ya doma 28th of this month ya November ena na ye no eba so ewo Independence Square anopa 6 am ma mani tua say Kumasi online TV de ye the update ni nyina be show mo ye be kwa kopie mu ho no ye be twa ni nyina no e de amam nti no wa pese wo kobi ni me pa location no eye Independence Square e be sha 6 am 28th of November, that is next week Friday yeah that ye ni me na watch the last Friday I just say a 1 month we mu no e na na ye no e koso na no dwume kwa wo maso mase a me di showdown dwume di esomo e Lionage Clinic GH4 Ebacho Lioness Clinic GH4 say yade eda so a wechi a wunya anu eduro no brabe pie mu e wo ma hye ye na wo mo ma ebibiduro papa cha say yade ne nyina no ebetumi etutu akọ nti wo ye bema na ye full stop wo de na da ne koma wo de ne de weni ba oba ne so anu apepe wo ye oba na cha say won so de fibroid e ha wankasa o menstrual cycle no adane something which is the as they say syphilis gonorrhea HIV gono cha say yade just atia ka wo so abepacho mekafo wo mo ede ama okopie mu wo makachi eduro papa wo mo de ebe ma na eja yade ni nyina no etutu akọ wo ho sensem nyina ye problem a wo de trust me na kopie mu wo makachi wo mo ye adwuma Mondays ekosi Saturdays anopa 8 am ekosi enumre 6 pm wo mo echi akwan so Kumasi wo mo tech maxima ena nkramante mu so no wo mo ewo sphincters free consultation wo frɛ wo mo a wontu asike bi abeti bia frɛ wo mo 0559658403 and as 0558143438 neja woni wo mo atwetwe enkomo ebusua yenkɔ ye ra ensem ni mu dia na kyese wiki ana na watchi one of the stories are actually ye papa BUGRI NAABU nsem a wokɔ kekan ye say ye nuanom a wo mo northern region the 5 northern regions one delegates ni police station executives ni ade ehia se Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wo mo de ntino wo mo fa kokromote no ento abanfa ma wo mo na Kennedy akompre ko hene Agyapong kra de wo mpe nani ma hwe kra recording eneja ebeto abonte a sa recording ni nyina no na no adam be ka kire mo se NPP amanyoko no issue communicate se wa wo ye aspirant 5 a wo mugira no wa opese wo kopie mu e police station bia na okwatwetwe enkomo e wo honom no make sure say constituency anase regional wo kosho no yade a wo ne mpenifu a chese wo mo NPP party no wo mo bekọ akohia na ono wo mo akwatwetwe enkomo nti Kennedy ba bekọ the northern aspect no e dey so okosi BUGRI NAABU isho e na ne nkrofo ne kasa so nka Kennedy beba northern region na me adoma eda sent ne oba ye besan ko oba no obehia na eja ono ohwehwe nkomo na ohyiraw eno na bugri na abu de ba be ka se David akompre ko hene Japan kra de mempene ni mahwe kra ene yesi ebisa ne sa den Kennedy aye bibia anka kana nka odwan on to ba ko mbekoto emfa me pa wo chow na wo de agi odwan bugri na abu se e ka ne ntwe nko ade anka obetumi atobi na Kennedy akompre ko hene Japan nankasa ena won pene ni mahwe Kennedy emu na be mokopie mu the 5 northern regions ye nyina ye nim de okoye de ekosi ye amafo kire se wo to aba man 2023 threat ni ade na eba wo so ni ade nyina na matena fidie manum se aka ni nyina no ede a kire mu na bugri na abu ne nsama wo de ba abonti obeka se the 5 northern regions no bie no obeto obade ama Kennedy akompre ko hene Japan ne konkom mafo wo mo kasa mafo an wo ka Kennedy akompre ko hene Japan team no wo no so aba abonti aba be responde wo se sa ne ma na e ko ni nyina no de wo catch bugri na abu se e ya de akoko mafo wo mo nka hu bi koko mafo wo mo hu mmo mu bi wo mo nim bibi biara chese Kennedy akompre ko hene Japan wa ye de ama wo mo ebre chese wo mo hu kire wo mo no yi wo mo hospital na chese wo mo hia generator plant kese pa no akompre ko hene Japan top plant edi besi honom ede ma wo mo sa so ene ebre na chese niema enko ye mfa ma wo mo no Kennedy lodi eduane track ma ene di ko si honom e ma wo mo nyina no wo mo nya bi di ye anso honom a Kennedy yo bi a chese ba no ku farmers na oji wo mo hu ye papa inti wo mo ne de wo ma hu bibi shunku bi wa kompre ko hine Japan mu eno nti na wo mu di na chinti ensema chese bugri na abu ka na me na mama amanfo akwanya nsema mo nto aba ne fa ma Kennedy ni ade konkom mafo se wo mo de wo mu yi wo mo hu edi firi mo bie no no obetumi a kire wo mo nipa wo mo fa kokomete no ento aba emfa ma no mesha so obeka me ho ne akọ na yakọ akotie sansem we nyina no abasisia
Ike honorable Canada Japan so free as central no abeto anuane articulator money oil cooking oil kwa chama afani afa nyina so omontimi ndi no mon survival nti yakaya nua hwan ne ya nua honorable Canada kompre kwa Japan ne ya nua nti yabesere mo asema baaye ye konkomafo ye twa ho free ne tape no ayo no nkwa na adwene ene woka nti ya mpanyi bugri na abu wanka ma wono ana ho na enya na adwene ne nye konkomafo nyina ne no des ni nyina adwene mimi ye konkoma ni me na me obi a medi Canada Japan anim e wo konkoma communities ya man omohu ye me yankofo delegates na hu ne nyuma papa a wo wode ma oman no ne nyuma papa a wo wode ma Ghana ni nyuma papa wadi ma ye konkoma fo because the three no ye konkoma fo ye adwuma nyina ye kuayo no obi ba no so odi kuayo adwuma ena be siesie o man no ha na kese ba ma yen nti ye de konkoma fo nyina ya gina tum ba ko pe ya fa ne so no ne ye nua wa ye bida obi a one the president da one year vice president da one year running mate da one year minister da nso watima bie enwuma magana fo mebu no over 7,000 eye adwuma wo mu a ye konkoma fo ya nye ne da so se Canada Japan so ba obema ye adwuma ne bia ye yo
Sia na chese kongo mafo no ana wo mso wo nim de Kennedy aye wo nim emu a chese Kennedy di aboa wo mo wetumi employee nipa over 7,000 na anu ada Kennedy ankasa betu nanum tuo se enkrofo a chese wo ye adwuma kra e wo ne companies emu dudu na kra no eye nkremofo na chese yade chese wo ne nordness ne nkremofo oni obi ani issue bia oni obi ani problem bia interese kwa bra na tena se e try ne best so obe create a whole issue once there is no issue no konko mafo so wo matwe wo muti die free mu wo nim dia papa ye dia ma wo mo e na papa e kopie mu 5 northern regions so no ensema no wodi tudwa ne ensema no oka no wo nim sese ye ma papa ye kwanya ma na ba ba ye mampani wo krom hanum se ye one of the places I hope develop papa e the 5 northern regions it mesre ye papa obi asma okoka ye na Kennedy mbengremofo asem na Kennedy triza wo den tokwa beba northerners ne just say account for no me patrol obi disregard this information and as I just say twegu ne ade nyina no kra biara enim afenyo market so eni abede de akeka kwone ade nyina ka ye hwo se wo mo be hwe no o maka ho asem na asomdwe atumi abei wo mo nya afa asomdwe ne maye ne so afenyo neni abede papa ebusua wo kasa de afa asomdwe ho bebi obefa bia wo kasa de fa peace wo se ye nyina ye nka ye humbom ye nyina ye nka ye humbom na ye ka ye ho abom nko ade a ya ade akese nkunimdie ebetumi aye NPP amanyoko ni de 2028 otise wo ma nka wo mo ho ambom a ya ade akese nkunimdie no entumi ensi wakasa ede afa kwan akese ndisi aban ba ye de wo mo de chema wutumi efemu ni ade ose ye to de bia chema wutumi na de a waye ye akese ne ade che ni ade se bia wo di akoni aba wo court na kwogwo wieji kwa ya se season ni ama nyina wo no a wantumi ntu kwan ono so kwa ne bank account kura so wo masan so kura do wo sa to so ene chema wutumi okopie mu court bia na chesala course na de hye no ene chema na ne enim se ne na funu ne ade nyina hyehye be ma ba chese ne bokura ne de kai show na chese be ma bo ebo pam na so ene chema wutumi ba aka ne ti pe ene si ne konso ne bode ne nyina no aye fia ncha na ne ti no aye kakraka ene si ne konso eno na afenyo ma kese be ka sem adia NDC aban ba ye de wo mo di NPP fo efemu no sanka NPP party no enkabom ewo mu a aka chema wutumi kokota na ka wo mo nyina no edi echire na ka bia wo mo bua chema wutumi ni ade ba esanse enkabom ni minti no wo bia hwe de ne eto chema wutumi na wo wie ye no ode ba beto aso se ya ade achese NDC aba amanyoko ewo honom ne chese pa efie bia mensa wo mu efie bia mensa wom empo no NDC party nimpo no mensa wom na anu ade ya eziedu nketia wote ne hu go monten so awo so wo ye thank you to ne ade eno na afenyo makese be ka se na ye thank you to na no yo na wo to ne wo de akira manfo se nyame ya adom na say excellency John Dramani Mahama omu na bobo de wi a ya ade wo no so de ne gi ho so no so be ba ye flag bearer ade ama NDC party no sa so na Julius Debra wa je se wante se George bi ko so ne de wa ko sheri kapampi na ne be ma na chia kwa akoda left na ndi ahode e jese be ba bewura ne mu na ndi joge ni ade nyina no na wo ye bi ni nyina no na ye kwan a wo fa so aton ne ho de ama amanfo se mampani Mahama wi a menso no meba na so mpanifo frɛ wo mo ene wo mo tena se ka se da bi de mu ye enye mu dwen party ne first wo mo nyina ejai sa de na so eba NPP party nko a de atwe ka utu fo no na jese wo bona no no bi be se wo bona no na efri wo mu be ba NPP party de nkabom aye friend nkabom ya de a ebi enim kura nti afenyo market sere nkabom e de ama NPP party ne se de be ya 2028 wo mu betumi edi enkonim kan ho ne yenkwa na yensa so nkotie ensam a wodi tudwa no emra sisia
me nkogina ha se de be ya nkabom na ye hia no because ye to abani wie 31st January yen aye wo parliament o mampeni dada kufo o mampeni dada akufado council of elders led by Hackman former national officers a mo ye mpenifo plus yen leadership in parliament ye we dwuma kese bi a sese ye se ye beboa na my party no aye one no that is adia kese a eda makoma so se nyame ya adomo a yebenya flag bearer January 31st na as a minority leader no mene no flag bearer no atwehwe nyoma mu afa adwen ya cheche nyoma a yenyina ye de betu dwa na party no etumi akonenim because come what may 2028 we have to win. We need to work hard. We should be omodi the party members because of who say differences we enter.
Yes.
Share yenya regional chairman chairman won't me. Esi sema omodi dino ya reho. But say yenya ye one say omunim say hey MPP foi they are united. Hey MPP foi woka baako a na waka opipe and they will be careful. But omu say ye individuals we na wakoye bone we amfa me ho
we ni pani
charge sheet ni facts me my lawyer my a courtroom practitioner and fi bebre and then I remember the record in court. Prosecution bet you not trust and even no more try for a chairman to do. Or my children into what you call Yembesu. Hey, want to be there with the bonio, and so I no crack. Hey, I did wait there, and you mean trimming when there be Omobwa, Nina politics no more yet. We shouldn't even let the fight be the fight of our people who are in court. Want to be no work court, I have no marking head in the court. A brilliant or modern Kojina court, you will say, eh, you know, Mamman could never be Casana, or Muba Bemuno, or Munia Scacroma, my Omuquane dear, into Omunco. No. And this is for no more on it, you. And yes, sir, Sebi or Musso, Bibia Pepe Pew. But they have a certain understanding, say, politics, there, differences, Yan Fantun chain, Nayan Kembo.
You heard the interest of the
That is why. Once I then I say, nah, I say, don't Katia call round.
Yes,
sir. Or no super flag bearership. What is it, Julia Debra call round? A do baby no impeniphobia from say Munjai. What I say?
Yes.
Do a be a young mother. But on what I say, the party first. Until we can also do the same thing. Flag bearership idea or Mokwe. Candidate Nankasa, any type for no, you don't need to talk about the strength of your opponent. Since 2012, I started to say or Winneba. Opening, me can't edit to me who say, me opponent, Mamboni did that.
I see.
Never, na me
from 2012.
2012, I started to say Mijina for MP. 4 elections, I'm not going with Futuno. Me can't platform be a Mijina so cause me opponent, no, you say, there be, and no, and my vote, there my vote in any say, what do we need to do? But you're training your baby. Oh, and not China, me worry asantini so.
Alexander Afenyo Markins, minority leader, and Ayako, Aquakoti and Nsem Abanintini, Kasa ni nyinano, o preachy peace, or Kasa se, Munina won't come humbum, asem to be a Munina Monko, na Monko Buana, Yebia, Samato, Webra Wabemuno, where DC catches, Ebia Namekran, and watch the mammy with Piemo or share. One by Wamina Naba for Frabade, I bet you one, my baby do it, she said, oh, and I'm party no wintini, Yen Yanka Humbumba, could there be Debbie, Nano Adame catch them session, NDC party no, Wamuba, Wamano, and Yeba Kufu Dio, or be a Dibi Bobo Betchamanasu, be a show, but a bano NPP party, dear one brewer party, one no cry the bedina Cassie, dear Amafo yet that you works not you be memono, one on a man show a Bako find a few honum did the brebi, Ababa Shannonsa, Yensha John Dramani Mahama, Nayaman Penua Baye, Yensha appointments our year, Amafu a media personnel sign, now one who bought a de Roma NDC, support NDC Amanyoko, Yensha or Baye, what Chemanasu will be a show, Nasha ye party NPP dear, one the quack for will be a wambre, Yensha Kusijuma Nanwa, the Hobsons who are a boy NPP Amanyoko when we need 2016 election. Most of spending a branty, now branty Ebeka Sai Ebeka Niama or Yedebua party now, no more Saswama Yasachi a branty, saying ye a man penny, Excellency John Dramani Mahama Baye ya, Hobsinadoye Nitidi Mwa, Anka and nen ya, Anka Hobsinadoye, Ogusua Quaquat near Dieba, Ebiana Wama Didi a Kennedy, Domadi Alan dia Humte, a free party, the same thing we did Kennedy, and a Kennedy to say, and a Kennedy Bekwa Wonko, and a Kennedy a Judas of the party, and a Kennedy and Penasam, and a Kennedy Nema a NDC for formation for MPP party. Me Kenshono, one minute your sacrifices I would drop a pay ye, Namia Miti, Nebusha, Matabri Misika, and I'm the Ababa Kumasi online media moi. Na and near me a cobone will Kumasi online, I'm a Bashamaka Manwatuma, I mean Kamanuntum, Kennedy Namu Wawe, and yen then was as walk as out. Kennedy and yen and a Kennedy Bashas Yakasa, your former president who 4 times, na Kennedy or Kasa, yes, yes, and a Kennedy could attempt, and a Kennedy, Eka says MP before you and Kwasia for Sasama Kennedy can Yakwane 2015, a boy MPP by 2016, MPP by 2020, 2024 na NPP enwi no afide ye se bra Kennedy ko ka se NPP ye nkwasiafo NPP for ye nkwasiafo no eno ne ka ho bi ena ama nipa na enwi ni election make sure ono hwe sacrifice ne ade a waye de ama party no na ma committee no makwa akohia na mudi nkomo na kwa brane a chese se bi adwe ne nya adwuma no wa recording nkomo na mukodi ye no na ode akwa NDC station say wo nje na wo mo because ade a chese NPP for no wo try as wo be create issue between the Achims and the Asantes anya bia ye wo obeka wano atuma na wonka wano ntu into oba abanti bedi atama except for that because he has sacrificed so much for the party was sacrifice e ama party no to me enka na no ntumi na ne sika odi ewura party no nyina ne sebi enka nkwa na se enhye saa keke mo shodi am preach peace na show just etori bi am connect meeting na me dwen wasen ngofo e won connect meeting pa enkomo die be na kwasho den won kaka wasem wo because issues bi wo hono ma e affect party na anka mo connect meeting na you people should raise those issues enye radio so na enye TV so e na mbeba betena beba be preach peace mo connect meeting nkofo wo mo Emma eyi asomdwe ma party mu next meeting wo mo ka hu bi mo no wo mo ntena se na mo ntu wo mo nyina afo mono wa montena se na muntu wo nyina fa ma mumba TV so me preach peace na munko echire na munko ye something which is there ende ye mu se ni ye hu aye ya no ati free ye hu aye beka ye nka ya no emfa ntum ewo hum na kompe ko hene Japan so akasa wase delegate o ka kire wo mo se leadership enye sikache obi wo hono ma mre be so ye ba beto aba and the sika we ni ade nyina no oba be chiche dia ma obia but who ye delegate when am ya roma 31st of January 2026 obeto aba ni bi no je wo ba da che ho ono akompre ko was sacrifice dia ma party no was sum NPP party no na enempo na wo ba no ni nyina no eye nnwuma oba obeba be bi adwuma oba obeba be yese oba obeba be yese enu nte no Emma woman Jane there, one budget 31st of January 2026. Now, one for Kokomotino and Kotuaba phone. Or no need there, or buy a Juma or baby. Affable forever and ever. Oh, be a benya. So I go school, so won't go school, so I will cry the primary grandpa when we are just or betcha manasu will be a show. And they when you are no more womutifie buhwe adwan kro mu nya bi nti ye nya obi no okasa asem we ya e wo se etumi so ne mu ye na emoa biara obetumi di aboa ye nso no wetumi di aboa ye yenkwe na yenkoti akompre ko hene Japan ne nsem no emra sisia
enya di preko obi a obetumi ama oba adwuma ye na oba da achia ye yi na se o ye mpanyimfo sei na mo manso atumi abehwe se nipa a wo enisuade hunu we ena wo se eto amama enye obi a odi ni sika besie na party emwa bia wo mwa hwe emwa media ma NPP party to extend say e charge me treason enne ebinim so omu uska yani a build the party no emom the party no abeye yie ka kire say omu uska enti ebebo musiketu oji sika ne memo obi abemo but yenwene okina na anu sika ye di mamu ebi o wa na anu sika ye wuna mo di mamu ebi o ho second dia Japan ne ba ya enka mo madwuma ya yi wo madi ana second dia Japan ne ba ya nke factory sei ene e be ba ama mrantie ni mabawa enya adwuma ye. I stand for industries, factories. Adwuma. Na nipa bia no woni munyam ene wadwuma. So woni adwuma, woni anu munyam. Oye bema na woni adwuma, oyiri mu. Oye oba, woni adwuma, ukunu mu. Nti adwuma. Obi a obetimi ama watumi ayi adwuma, enye sika ahwe wo yere no ma. Sania onkosere politician bia sika no odo ani matwitwifo enam sabi sika woni bi. I'm going to empower you by creating jobs.
no ne message ne de abusua clear and kasa ne nsem nyina enwuma nti se mobetie na hwopemu dia na chese wose kokromote no kasa de ma Kennedy akompreko wo hene Agyapong nyame yadom 31st of January 2026 abusua issue bi ekwoso ewo NPP party ni mu a me amiti he medical ya betena hanom say aka ho asem dada na minim sanka eja asem no ebekọ akoda na so ma hwe ni ma asem ne ntumi nkoda de cheni ade se bia no na chese issue no ba na eba so ni nyina no proxy voting ebia na obi ewo ho no ma chese proxy voting wonte ase proxy voting ne yese me nana ya se wasem ye delegate nyame ya adoma 31st of January sameto aba ni bi na hana ATP so police station executive na ono so beto aba ni bi na me ya se wa ebia metu kwaye fro man ma kwa kopie mu o man Ghana na me kopie mu o honom no me se nyame ya adoma 31st na ye to aba no me ntumi emmetu binte no me di me voting rights no ATP nsa ATP nkodi lie na onfa kokomote ne nto aba mfa ma ne ho no otoma ne ho wi a na me amete he me hwe me die se bia me se to aba na makene de akompre akọ hene Agyapong na ha na akọ aba no na eno no na empenifo tena se behu se this whole proxy voting ni ade a chese ekeka kọ ni ade no ade a emwa party ne sare se kwan bi a wo mo fa so a wo mo de wia abem ende a obete na ye wia me na osanka menya se na menya se ye wia mu ni ade sa kwan we ye kwan a wo mo fa so a wo mo de wia mu eno no na mpenifo de ba abonten be ka say this time round there is nothing like proxy voting o Ghana abeto wa aba wuni honam na wetu kwan a wonfa wo right no emfa nche obi nsa se osemesi anaso obenten emra no ometo aba ne mfa mawo na candidate 5 year busua wo mu gina nyina no this all proxy voting won sensemi wo mo kan ye na Kennedy si mede mo ya adwen proxy voting de ni kwa se ekwoso esan se ade a chese wo mo de fa so ade wia abamu ni ti se this time no se NPP wona wo mo sha abato so se wo mo nje sa ade ni ntumu de a me akompre ko hene Agyapong me nso bi ginemu wo mo ko Brian Champion na Brian Champion si asema mo de aba abonte de ade ye kama ye papa proxy voting de ye nje ntum ye free one ye kwa ye kan se o say ya wedu twum honum ene du twum so wo said NPP benefit wo mo hwe election she said wo mo si fa kasa ne ade de a ade be boa because say rigging of elections na ya dos wo kuro ha dodo nti se wo mo so wo mo ngitum de ande no say ya wedu twum wo no so fo aso afi ye ko engineer kwabreje Agyapong na kwabreje Agyapong so this whole proxy voting ne ade akura ya na ekeka ko ne ade aya na emwa because emma at the end of the day ye beto aba ne be wie no na ensem bebre na abobo abanti no se obia simo mpene a ende mesu ngine kwabene Agyapong meso mempene ebuhia ye godu alaji 38 nkwade alaji 38 say ona ne nkrofo se proxy voting mekoso alaji 38 ene ne nkrofo say wo mo ne dia wo mo foa so say wo se proxy voting no eba so delegate fo so agina honom so aka say sa proxy voting no emwa because me say ebia hana ekoto aba na me say hana to aba na ma Kennedy akompre ko hene Agyapong ma me na say hana ne ye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia a ebuhua yenka no kura say ye sure say hana ATP be ko akoto ma aba ne dia ma Kennedy na onkoto obeto aba ne dia kwa akoma Bawumia because Bawumia ne na ono hana ATP no ope inti say be ya enkofa say ye wia election mu akofa we yaba no ye nje sa proxy voting no enfantum all 4 candidates say they are not going to accept proxy voting alaji 38 ne nkrofo nko ade wo ma social media ji so afa ebusuya wo ma Ghana fo nya asomdwem say chenchina wo say ye ji tumu na proxy voting no eba so na yedi kind de petition akoto neck amfa ene de so be da so le ya yes so say national executive a wo mo wa brochire wo ma sa de petition for so asa ba beto neck adanya was say proxy voting na wo mo aka say emma so no was say proxy voting no etumi ba so na say 4 candidates na so wo mo ngi ntuma edebe mpa na wo mu tiri mu ntia still na mu pia still na mu force say was say proxy voting etumi ba so na Ghana general election na obi se me de me voting right am obi ntini pa ne nkoto na wa wotena se na odwen sa de no anye bia se bi nyansa wom mo na mo so de amatro petition na tra nyansa bi ewo mu ana obi nkoto aba mienu na wokoto e de ma ne nyonko a de wono ne pe na de wo mpe no wakoto aba no e de amasa ne pa wo ebe ye odada. So I still don't understand nentia chesenne eyalaji 38 ne nkrofo ebusua wo mani abede and a proxy vote ne bekoso and a proxy vote ne betoso eye wo mo right ni ade and na wona wo hwe election so NPP party ni mu say eyade a emwa 4 aspirants say wo mo njintum adenti na mo de mo ne sa 4 aspirants ni nanya adwen say sa de ne emwa ntini ye njintum sa adwen boni ni mutirim na say ni mutirim say mo ba be wiemu a why are you people not accepting it? Internet Kennedy team woman ya bede ani akompre ko hene Agyapong team woman ya bede anka sema be ka chem say yade a wo mate anti-rigging committee the 25 January de busia emse ampaye ebedwa and yes each and everyone's vote will count. Yes, you were not the region and the Kennedy ko ho akonya evidence this time no ebi NCBM Kennedy for woman ni da hono mankasa nti wo mso agie ginemu say proxy voting enkoso ne enkoso china 4 candidates ni nyina di tumze ni kwan say ekoso nti nipa ba ko na wono ne de wo still na wo say ekoso no wo hwe na wonte ase a yenja ne kwan enfefiri MPP party no no kra de ye hu bebi a wo free yo ba join na ye obi na ekofa ne so wo mebo nti nka wo bebu awie na wonya ho adodode a wa men na osanko okọ nise ja MPP party do mu bia wo mu nsem mu obi entini eso de anya hwe ka party ni mu a ene we huresi wo mu konso a wo ma wo mu nya wo ma hwumdie no na lawyer Kobi e yo bi ati so no so kasa e de ma Kennedy akompre ko hene Japan wo no so a kire mu se ken team de sa proxy voting no wo mu ntiase ne no ma tiase chi na me hwe so be ka ma ne yakọ na yakọ akotie sansem we nyina no abasisia
power party me ratio proxy voting.
Okay.
Say MC Party Parliamentary Election Committee got 9 or decided say proxy no there yenye biem.
Okay.
I think say ni na nyoma bebre in relation to how our proxy na amafo manipulate no. Na me hu say
proxy ni say obi to be about obi.
Say ukase o mintimi mbenti me vote ama. Aha. Na ade a eni say me hu say nkofo bi so hyehyɛ akire petition. Akose o no proxy na ma mba so. Mestre party for idea I didn't see a penema ne baso ye percent party no aye no e say make sure say yanko fa ade bia de basa bayeba anase bi mu bia bo bi na adwini mpokase awia no if it's a proxy no they are you know bia from past experience e hu say e bia me enyina eti hei e bia me bra no e bia akwa na hweme o say mentuma baumia me se me de me peken afi ya o so bramate se jamin timi wanu si boni afi no ugina ho no se apa me ngini nti ye na saare wate de a trauma ayina trauma osofo se wo yare nti na ye fa president mo osofo no osofo nkoto osofo de me ngini di saane ma ne hwe ni especially say election say as baby o kon baby how ba ene se BUGRI NAABU audio wenye bi etia you can say one man for so if you are not his northern brother just obi antuma na northern brother nti ho one man for imagine say you say the year one man for say antuma na wo kronim na efili say wo yanchi wundi a e betimi akohunehunu ajo proxy amade agini so nkoto abama no na party no say no e bi agina na etro kakra nti yenhwe ne ye na yankwaje nyoma bi antumu a Emma Fontin omumu said the election process no I want to say no na emfranka bomumba se penka bomu ne pese obia akoma dan yem say e free election ade a say nyina aye so original baby original bia the sport ni bia sa proxy asemi na yenja obia wa betima ba no beto so wontimi mba na bia amone no for na se bia teacher party ka say college development fee maybe say candidate nyina aka mo hobo ne de kaka so ne de bo mo ka ticket ba no no abeto na ba yenye ne sa na bia nkoso ye
Lawyer Kobe and Yako Aquacotin and Mabarin, almost one more pen cambo mupadia, and then I did so proxy vote once and 70 a day. A new coin set, one would you two once at them church him, Sapa Pepe, and on the swat church him. Quabrane at the northern region, who ye they say, yan to a banfa macumfan, now to be memu, Nani Pana or to northern Regabia, one on a yawa down for Paba, the old Kennedy team. Now, Commander Quenya swan on them go to Waban and Famawa. Besides, I said, northern region, I just send that tribal politics. A jolly woman side, dear, but no other to Abandia Kennedy, now on to Aban from Kennedy. Into some proxy votes, when Quadia, I think I was saying, and I no tumubi. Now, ya come and penny 40 as a petition or Mopa, will bet you me on a dime. Proxy voting and yadia bekoshonde na akoso echina hana ATP atena se jansama aba wankrata animno wa babe pese ni nyinamu ede amaye Lionage Clinic GH4 wa madaroma na yas wa menya akwanya betena fidiem hanum sia medi showdown twumedie no esomo wa mentwa me husima me ba na eja ya pese nkrata ni nyinamu ede amamo
Abusia Yarebe Emma Ehawo, and get to brain, nothing come for Lionage Clinic Ghana and Famau. A Hankwa and Abe Puma, the day we draw a song Yare, Abusia Sa Uba Puma Haseya, yes, sir, and Nami Yarebe to say, syphilis, gonorrhea, candidiasis, Jalipa Bidwana, see a friend of Python.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Maxwell Aziz Mensah. I'm the founder and senior doctor of Lionage Clinic Ghana. Our mission is to provide you with exceptional herbal medicine treatment and holistic healthcare to all our patients to becoming a healthier you. Thank you for trusting Lionage Clinic Ghana. Lionage Clinic Ghana, your #1 healthcare expert.
Lionage Clinic GH4 na yade da osono womombua empe ebibidro papa emfama na yade no entu enko ATP atena se ATP mama wakwaba
na yase wa mejo so
bibia boko de
yesu adom na so
oba de na daroma mensu me hu ye papa proxy voting won sensemi wo de wo mo ye adwen se eni kwanse ye gituma na ada se wo se ye ngintum
na nani kwanse ye gitu because me only say ye kwan bi o mo pese o mo san so fa so na eja o mo di wiem sa de ma Dr. Baumia e wo kroma senti mesra da seja o mo nyimfuro because na obi kutimi kwatina bi for so many years o ba beto abite ye nipa ba ko se won famla nipa na o de ba no se ni tirimu ye se ni tirimu nye e bi kuro be se vote ni bi enti na me only say ehun hia
okay
ehun hia enti no mo nyimfuro mo famba ye
okay ye busu ya won so no ATP ya adwen se ni kwanse proxy voting no ekoso a na eno de eja wa chro e wo comment section na say e dia ba me ATP nse ma ba won krata no pense mu ma me
okay na ya say before nso na ye be ko krata ni no say na ye ma me agrada ye tene ka che papa e na okopie mu e wo court na areho semba ko na aya areho pa ye papa say ne lawyers three ni nyina no enti mamba amepie mu e wo court enti no wo mu gusua esre se janka court beboa na nke janka ma beli no enti court ahye na kopon bon the 2nd December wo mu sanso emepie mu e wo court a akoya areho sem yesi aglada ni enim sa aglada no uhu aglada uhu ni sa aglada ni wasesa ne kala ni nyina asesa ase ye nana no tetefo ne wi no musim ye tuntum no se bia na esi ano waye papa
akoya da no ne ba ne so mfoni se ne ba girl no na ono so na oye kokko pa agrada de eja yesra mo wate mama ma agrada ndi bronya wonsa wo ma ne mu na lawyers so mo problem ne se yo mambe
lawyers mi ensa ni nyina obi eno mo pie mu wo ho no akwaya rehusem yese ma me ho aya mobododo ye besra da enim se ma me wadi sikade wabu amanfu agumu de but at least setting ye better so pokrama na eja yate so edi amanom tene ukopie mu social media amanfu bewe na ka sisi anakwaya rehusem papa ye edi amaye ma me ni kura sia ma enso kopie mu ho no ma na
ye tene nka ache ogusu a twan agrada 15 years
ogusu a twan papa
ana wo shibi mu abonten
me in the meet me chire but sia na de ene okopie mu e wo court
e wo hwe no hu keni ani
but ne so kratse
Esiama.
Aglada.
Na ashole na wo ho.
Aso wo ho.
Esiama tumi ya ashole.
Oh, you were ya ashole papa ya in your video.
Oh, maybe I see the wo ho no ma no apebe ma papa o. Na so obetumi atwen 15 years ne dia.
15 years ne dia me sure die.
Ye be ba na bro gada na baby kure fufita. Na ATP uka ya rehosem ya oni ma rehosem fofra na ya me so bensa.
Dabi ho.
Ma me tokono. Se me ka tiam so the case you ko pie mu ECOWAS. Ene ECOWAS abatu egu o.
Oh ye ma me se ne ro ya reho.
Oh, ebusia.
Ye ma mpani je adiem ni na ani ni ye ECOWAS for so ne na ani ni.
Ye ECOWAS abo application ro ko to ho se ekwan a wo mo fa so a chese wo mbe so wo mu yi ni firi ho no me nye kwan pa ne chese ye de ba fo ni si su a ye se e bra na be fa o application pe baby fe nti ene no ya bone gallery na ye bra be ye na no
ye me de ye ma me want ne ho ase na wo de wonja bibie mu de ogini di wo kroma ase ne de ogusu agini di ne ye be koso aka no ne ma pa oye no kroma ase nti ne be senara so de ja wonja bibie se ba fo bone ye nya so ne in ye
obakra
ye ko yi ne de afiro no se wono no sa beto aso bi nti no eye wonko fi no nko da why
Travo suma kasa
sa wo
kasa mama wa bale Travo som se Ozo oyegum ne party ni din Ghana Union Movement o se debe o se Mahama etumi bu adwuma na so nani a 2028 on contest one ne members nyina ba ba join NDC ne Travo som ne nsem no ATP kwe na ya se wana bebe die
ene so kopie bon kramante ma oni se demonstration ko so ho
why mo na ye
teachers for 2022-2023 ye teachers training for no graduate year and still now ye posti wo mo etomato mo wagu mountain so a se ejamu so ye demonstration de ndo mo free atoys forces atoys forcing anke hu ye budget yan ka odi be share
no allocation bibia njire se ye be fa obi anim anim ya o
what ya sente se no mo bu afu ye papa ese wo kwa na ese na buoi
wo teacher training uko university nyam se ye kan okra me pa meti he wo hu senka yesi su na nka bia wo bi die futuo bi ema ye ne ade nka ATP kasabre bia nka me pamade ana se bia nka sabre me yetiro like I'm being serious o share abrabo no hu edin abrabo na edin imagine say young girl besiso na ATP o mama na o papa ebe spendi a lot of money se ubeko school level 100 kosi level 400 uwie kura kwan ya obefa so kura be ye national service personnel yet you amaka 717 cities 715 cities eya reho obi wo hono ma ye to ne to zavjugo tatale obi wo hono ma bomfo echi obi wo hono ma wagadugu bebi e se ekure bia se ne ato na to honom ene rent ya ade a eku amafo wo krom ha nti sababa wampo esi so na so ye ne national service na ATP woman 700 and something na bebi a wo bekọ akoda den yo bekọ akohan de wo bedi ka ho sensem ATP youth esi so ebre o hwe se na wo ko social media ne so na wo hwe se de youth complain a kwabra ne esi ne dan esi honom tete single room self contained ebi de ma rent 1200 1500 na ye bia salary ne kura ye say na me aba behind 1500 rent control for so bia ne wo mo so wo krom ha na wo mo ne de emre ko menim no menya wo mo ho brankasa because emfa so bia ni wo mo so
na ya se
at the end of the day wo ko school we nyina ewia ahiegu efiansa wo san be ye hu demonstration say ye post you
and yes so
me my Ghana
ambulance se kuta o mo ne so ye 2026 enti enye wu a ye bisa aban mo na modu musika be renew dia ma o mo ana asese my Ghana de school ni de esi nyina ye ja na ja bidie ne ye beton kra na ha ya sha se aton do krom cause esi school ni eni faso bia e wo my Ghana mo ase na ya sewa
ATP eja fankrata na somye
okay ene wo kwa da yi de ma me for the Ghanaian point e function krata ni nyina ase na wo be pie mu e wo krata ye ni ma na sebusuafo yi na se ye man pani JDM ni foni e da ha se kama waji ni quote na ni nyina e LGBTQ won sensema abra ne man pani dada na adanko akufuado eti abema na jananki yehwe senko be sign ne ede amaye nenso ekwo wi ase no se ba bia mode eye nkrata ne kwoto ye na ninsa entimi enuru honom na ye man pani JDM do hye Ghana fo nyina bose wo ba wono oye ya Assemblies of God eda ni park asienti no wo ba obehwe na eja wa sign ne ede amaye ye beka ya Sam George ne ne krusu eso mo ye dede ankasa ewo kromu ase na enye fedi agro da so na me ne wo kase ni ye hwe ni musanke man pani JDM ebehwe na eja wa pass out ede amaye ene ye man pani akasa na ne nsama wo ka nyina ene se wo ka kire Ghana fo nyina ene afesoso eye enipa timemfo bi wo kroma bia se eye parliament house o mutimi pass out dia wono waye ready waye crowd baba pa ye se wode nsa ebe hyase na watimi asan apa eye ede amaye ma o man Ghana wo ba bia ni wono wode oba ebe hia ndefta so na be ma bia ni wono wode utadwe ebe wura be ma to ewo kroma se ene krata the Ghanaian point eba wamane enso ewo ha ewo kratafa etoso mienu enso ewo ha se ewo kratafa etoso oye enan no ene ye man pani JDM ede ato se esi ene esi de no wagina blania kasa wagina ne na so ankasa ese na we se ne nan apachira ene we si anomatima bande na esi ane ne nan netima gina blania kasa nti esi de no ahoɔden papa ye abemti Ghana fo etimemfo ye ma respect ankasa emra we esi de ne me ne kratai eka wasem enso ewo kratafa etoso enai enso ewo ha wunya bia na eja wakenkan ni nyina bi enso ede amaye na ye national security coordinator eye Osman eye Abdullah Razak ni foni eda ha se kama waje ni prosatare kama ena kratai eba ho amane se eye fresh for so maba na sa aba fresh for maba no ena ode afutuo pa ede ma mo se mo nyina stand mo nyina blande esi an mo baba be so mo man Ghana de be ko mo hu bia mo fa hye mo ho di na mo koso enso mo man Ghana na mrepe binom mu betwa so ababa pa ye ne kratai eka wasem enso ewo ha sei na oba na siase so akratafa etoso eye enum no na se baben ena eka sei ena wo kire mu eka sei walanche ye scholarship bia ba beboa ama MPs ene omo ye adwuma ewo ye parliamentary honom no wo mo atimi enya so for so ba pa ye ne krata the Ghanaian point so eka wasem enso ewo ha ni foni eda waje ne CPS ai wasan so abo ne tire ne quote kama ne krata the Ghanaian point eba ho amane enso ewo ha sei na oba ne kratafa etoso eye ensian so a na sa nkwa no ma memda so na mekọ eye kisi Agyapong wono ene ye speak sanso ene ye kinoforiata enso ni foni eda ha sei ene ne krata eba ho amane sisi ade wo speak de so bo no ode abo eye kinoforiata ene nkpofo enso a na so mo ka ho ne krata e ka wasem enso ewo ha sei wunya bia na eja wakomusu kwon wakinkan nyina bi kama so ede mai ntenano pay ensema the Ghanaian point ede ebaye no ena mato mebo ase aresane nyina so kama so ede amao mede ukwa the Ghanaian Times na abepie mu enso wo the Ghanaian Times so a nese man pani JDM ni foni ene da ha sei kama na nyina eya abra okopie mu ewo yesidi conference na senom ene wodi esu jade kire Ghana ni na sei si ano yesidi na gina branyo a ekona nim ye babapa ese wagina ne national kasenta ma economy net me gina brane ede amai to kire Ghana fo nyina se yesidi ne yema respect anase yema ebuo emra mu ye babapa eto mo ade bia da wo mo di eye dollars di edwa ewo kroma sei eno be ko schools ahodo bebre na ewo man Ghana mu wase no na ese na eja wo mu tue school fees a yes wo mo de eye cedi eye dollars ena etwe sika ewo kroma sei to so be se da say esi ana hoɔden ankasa eda bai wo yesidi mtino ye make sure say be ma respect ankasa eda be me kratai enso eka wasem enso ewo hasem na ye wash expert for bi ena eka sei ena wo mu ekire mu kase ene ye ba no man Ghana mu wase a ena wo hu obi no ogina ye tisru ko pie mo nkramante ma ye mpo ano no wo be ko na eja waja ne nine de gu wonom wazi de wi omusimi jijejeja omu nine wo kroma se no hwehwemu aba ha se aba ye kire se 5.4 million Ghana de be for aba mo million Ghana cedi 5.4 million Ghanaians and practices are there do ankasa e wo kroma se it's an ekrata the Ghanaian point bo ho amane so e wo ha wo de be na eja wakenkan nyina bi eka e wo ha se e de amaye enti no ye expert for e kire mu eka catch the Ghana for you. I say, Mom, would you just jam on 9 Google Guabon, Basa, ne, a politics black bones and no be a Janania Gum, ne Georgian and the feature, no one wine now, wine, Betty Panya, now, but was his uncle for in Yanano, a yes, so with the Shemu, I may say, Nipa 5.4 million, and a yes, and then Ewo Chroma Saint Munina, Munja and a Kratay, Ekan was and so Ewaha. Now, one in Chem was says one as a Tia Minister, and so in Phony, and so Edasa or Kratafa, a tosso, a dum ye no, and so Ewaha say. Now, Kratay, a woman, yes, say, yeah, well, my God, and was your mouth of a Brenam, and so Muguta, a year, a 2 years, a weapons, a hood of a Brenam already star, and Casa, Ewo Chroma Saint, and Manumuya, one more best rather Baba Pie said, Jamon Radamo Berries, and as I were so move Chroma Syndrome, baby, I'm none and no bedino, and Nibena, Papa Pie, and a Kratay. Eka wasem and so ewa ha wenya bia na eja waken kan nyina become so edi amaye me de wo ko daily guide na be piem so ewo daily guide so so anes OSB and na eka OSB na eka say afeso so ye kinu forata ni phone eda ase na nyina eye SML NGR for contractor ese na so aye ka sisika bia be 5 for mbosas nipa enso omo ka ho no ene de ye OSB ankwa no maye kisi Agyapong wo de so bo no ede abo aye kinu forata eni mako enso omo kan wane kratai enso eka wasem enso wa hase sanso na ye LGBTQ bill no ye man pani JDM so waye ready waye krado ye papa so my Ghana say ye parliament house for to be pass out waye ready so wode nsa ebe sha se ede amaye kratai eka wasem enso wa kratafa etoso miensa enso daily guide mu na ba na siase so aneso fanko eye abrante ese eja wakotwe ne yire ede besi abonti bon hu nekeda wode aba esi ni shoti said onu a wochira na de wo classroom na hai so wo hu odin agent na ofa nko buku men kwankokun de so ode na yiri si wonu bo naked ebo ne papa pen krata e ba wa manesa police for en set makwa ko so ni mu krata daily guide e ba wa mane enso e wo ha wonya bia na eja waken kan nyina so e de amaite na no pay ensema daily guy e de baye no e na maken kan nyina bi kama so e de amaye na oba na siase so nesa Asante regional minister ni foni e de ha sei e na wo twem ka se amafo bebre na e de ni omonsa e cheche no so se galamsia ati se e wo kroma se Ghana fo ye man pani jedi en hye ye boss obehwe na eja watima blade nyina se e de amaye o man Ghana mu ase no amafo bebre na e ka se wo no wo de ne wo frofro sa galamsia e kwa so my Ghana mu ase then na krata daily analyst eba ho amane se enya de e no kura na biara da enya de no frefro ye galamse bia e wo kroma se ne daily analyst eba ho amane enso e wo ha na foni eda se na nima ye mobom to se wo ka kire Ghana fo nyina se ne kudu bia enim se wo de ne ho e frefro galamse bia mu e wo kroma se oba ne nchemu wase so anese ye man pani JDM ni phone eda se ni nyina ye LGBTQ wase esi ano se parliament house e pass out wa ye ready so wode ne sa e be sha se sanso na kino foriata e so esi ano ye ankwa no ma ye kisi Agyapong esi ano wode so bo no wode atabo ne de atu ni tiri so apa ya e che bia court be sha se edu o maseme ne krata ni phone eda ha wode ne sa esum na no ma krata daily analyst so e ba wo mane enso e wo ha wonya bia na eja wakobu su kono wakenkane nyina bi kama soso edi amaye yegusua ewo daily analyst wonum na obepiemo ewo asiase soso anese Klatai eba ho amane se eye Gideon Belko awono na ye MP for eye Tano North na wo kire mu kase eye 2026 budget se eye NPP and this amanukuo na ye ato is force mbegina mpinsie so ekekan ye no as a 50% bi na ye na no ada 2025 project bi na se wo mo entmenyu na nko boni mi se nkeja enka wo bekinkan sa project ni nyina no ko de be shem se de be ya enka afi no enko awie na nka sa project ni nyina no yetimi aye nenso wantimi anya sa de ne kratai enso ebo ho amane enso ewo ha wonya bia na eja wakenkan ni nyina bi kama so e de amite na no pay ensema daily analysis so e de ebaye enso eno no me de ko the new trust na be piem so the new trust na se parliament for o ma approve e 10 million tax bia e India for money India for assign ye no na wo ba na soro ase so a na se e minority for no wo mo bu afu ye baba pa wo ma pile e kratafa to so mienu abra eye omuchire mu ekase sa tax ne de enya do mbeje atumu nya no ma de achimu china emo nkurasa mo na mo ye minority wo ye parliamental na se ma de atumu kura na wo mo do makoma mu pa de ena do mo beje e de atumu ne krata yi eka wasem enso wo ha wonya bia na eja wakenka the new trust so e de amai wo the new trust ne mo ena eja krata yi e bo won mane se eye kisi eja ben wo se na dwuma ye se wo di pass wo SP na nya no na wo di no e wo kroma se tani manim wa no ye mo ne gallery papa nkasa every ni position a woman e krata enso e kan wasem enso e wase a wonya bia no wakenka ne nyina bi kama so e de amaye na hwehwemu enso so amaye hu se e na wokopie mu galapse site ahodo bebre na wo kroma se ya akuafo bebre na edwedwe nyaba ye di no abonten so e wo honom e na krata the new trust e bo ho mane se e ya de a enya kura because chemicals a wo mo difference wo mo difference ase no e di to gold no emboa ye ni padwe to mo be da se mo amfuofuo anase mukuye mo yekuya e wo ba bia mutu galamse site no ka mo bejai na afi so mo da desrede e to ye man pani anim se eni mani mu ya galamse no on hwe na eja won bre na se e fam go se yensuo ne yensa ase ese yenya ni so ye ba bedidi akwa eni padiem so no wu ni ye ba be wu no kuro mase ana e na krata the new trust e kan wasem so ewa ha so na anti LGBTQ wa ya man penny JDM echiremu e ka kire Ghana fo nyina se ne parliament house e pass out no wa ye ready wa ye crowd ye baba se wode ne nsa e be sha ase ne eja wa sign ne e da ma se nya dia sa gay ni lesbian le no e be koso ankasa e wo kroma se ne krata the new trust so e kan wa se so ewa ha mama for the new publisher e fa ento so na be pie mo so the new publisher ne sa sama e ye man penny JDM kafa ya anti-gay hono wasi esi no se parliament house e pass out wa ye ready so de ne sabesha secretary e kan wasem so ase Nyankopon bo 31 January 2026 na ye NPP amanuko no edrom kwa kromoti no kwakwato aba eyi do betu franka na nkasa de ama NPP amanuko yenye nim se Canada in Agyapong bra champon Dr. Baubnya no mo abkika wonyino ma ye ready papa ye say campaign mo ye no delegate dom kwa kromoti be kwakwato aba de ama nene wo kopie mu NPP amanuko ma de cha de sebia ne asemfoforo no na asori de afiri wonom de aba abrochirefo na so mo amonone no wo abobu afuye papa ni nyina ye proxy vote ya ekoso wono mo senya ade a wo mo beti ase na ate ase kira na nekratai kan wase mo wase so mo po mu mpo be ba so bo senya ade be ba so ba me de kame koye de anka janko mo yi difri ko se kame akoye se wo be so mo fa sa akwan ne so de favor ni pa bi e wo kroma se nekratai the new publisher kan wasem se ya abrochirefo delegate no wo mo bu afuye papa nekratai kan wasem enso ha abrante wo fankwa ese jawachi ne yiri esi abonte ode ne nofo tabrabai egu so ese ode abasi ni so a wo bonti se de wanya no ne yemu ba wo bono no ne kratai ebo mane ese yatimi akwa akochi no de new publisher kratai eba ho amane enso ewa ase ewo daily gist musoso na so be piemo ewo kratai eni musoso na se kino foriata eni krofo enso an esesi an ya chiwom nene we de edomofo ni aba beto kratai nim kama kratai kan wasem enso ewo ha se sanso na ye NPP amanuko de bia da parliamentary primaries eba be koso ye proxy vote won sensem ne so kratai sanso kan wasem enso ewo ha se sanso na ye anti BTK man penny JD magia tum se Nyankopon bo na se parliament house wo mo pass out on so are ready so ja wo de ne kokromoti no e be sha ase no kratai enso kan wase enso e wa ha ma me for the custodian and for sorry kratai ni na so na be pie mo so the custodian na se 2025 budget no e na ye gideon be ko e kire mu ka se 50% bia na ewom no na nka ye se nka e ye bode 2026 budget yi na nka ja e komoda shem se project be na wo no ma wo mu entime nwie nka ja komo function na 2026 ni bekwa wi ne keja yatimi aye ne nso o ma yatimi anye krata kan wasem enso wase NPP amanuko de bia dade achiense bia tokwa ekoso ne nyina proxy voting no delegate no sensem no kratai enso kan wasem enso wo ye the custodian na wonya bia na eja wato bo asa kan nyina bi kama so de amaito me for the custodian enso ren krata ni nyina so na ya se wa for de aka nyina enfa beto so for ma yetiefo adane da nyina no wo moje brete Kumasi online TV TV and our face of friends of Ken TV na ya se wa
okay hana ATP maso Nyankopon sha ye papa ensema ba won krata no so wa pensen ni nyina mu ede amayen ebusia hana ATP ena motene nka na nche kwa mi communicators ebe babet na sineja ya hwehwe nkomo ede afa oh my Ghana ho this so tribal politics won sense be ade akwesi kwaten a wono so ekasa ede ma Kennedy akompre ko hine Japan wakasa de afa ho o se ye won grofo bi a wo mo ne de wo ma kasa de afa ho wo ma jese wo mo ne de tribal politics no wo ma ya jese e favor wo mo obi ama monti ama me kondeme na sema Kennedy akompre ko hine Japan kwa kan ye ono de wo kasa boni biara enim in fact wo twetwe nkomo no e wo metro na metro TV e no kwotena ya wo ne Paul twetwe san nkomo we ya mehye so be ka me ho ne akọ na yakwa akotie ni nyina no abasisi ya
Kwesi Kwaten has joined me in the studio. Kwesi Kwaten is a lawyer and he speaks for Kennedy on Hine Japan. Kwesi, good evening and welcome to the show again.
Good evening, Paul.
The reason why you are here is that Kennedy Japan, the candidate, is accused of delving into tribal politics. There's a video where he talks about he being something about Akan people, something like that. What happened?
I mean, contrary to it, he has been a victim of this tribal politics. Unfortunately, there are some other people who benefit from it. It just so happens that after benefiting from it, they play the Wall Street game, play the victim role, and Ken, of course, appears to be like, I mean, somebody who is propagating. It's just like what we see. I mean, if you go to America, for instance, there are some genuine instances where somebody may have committed a wrong thing, but they hide under the umbrella of racism and want to justify it. So Ken is rather suffering and has been a victim of the political abuses, whilst unfortunately and to the contrary, we have other candidates who are enjoying from same. But these are the facts. The facts are that just yesterday, when he met some delegates in the eastern region, he reinforced and reiterated and of course raised a concern. And that concern, Paul, had to do with the unprecedented levels of tribal intimidation that is happening in certain parts of the north. It is important for me to state clearly that Ken is not divisive, Ken is not discriminatory. Interesting.
What did he say? What did he say in the video that created this problem?
Yeah, his point was the fact that he needed to raise these concerns, which had to do with the fact that if you go to certain parts of the north, his supporters are constantly being intimidated.
Currently?
Yes, there are situations where they have to get chiefs to compel delegates to pledge to vote in a certain direction. Recently, if you recall, when he went to the north, remember there were some delegates who voluntarily came to him and revealed information about how they voted for him, which unfortunately they recorded 0 for him. I mean, he raised this concept, but interestingly, some of these are people who came forth are getting threat of being banished, and some of them also threat of harm. So he just had to lay those concerns out, and of course, I mean, had to emphasize that if that is happening in other parts of the country, if we don't condemn it, it may also embolden other parts of the country, for instance, parts of the south to also do the same. And I think, fortunately, some of the media reportage misrepresented it. I don't want to repeat the name of the media house on their platform, but they misrepresented it and presented a certain outlook that suggests that Ken is asking all Akans to vote against minority group. I mean, there is no way he would do that.
Vote against minority group.
Minority group.
Minority group.
Yeah, minority. The groupings. I mean, the other ethnic groups. And we believe in the honest, fair, and of course inclusive policies. But what we also resist vehemently is any attempt to also blackmail us on any religious or tribal lines, because the record has is clear, the history is also there, that there have been candidates, they moved to their home regions, engage in all manner of tribal and identity politics. I personally do not believe there is anything wrong with identity or, let's say, home advantage. I don't believe there is anything wrong with that.
But I'm from here, so
yeah, vote from here. But when you propagate that and then play the ostrich game and then appear victim when you move to the other, your opponent's home region, that is where I feel it smacks some form of hypocrisy and ought to be condemned. So, Paul, the emphasis has to be made on your show that Ken is not divisive. His recent company, the rubber company, employs 360 people. Interestingly, 300 of them are all from the northern part of the country.
Is there another company in the northern region?
No, it's in Greater Accra here, Tema. It's in Tema here. But interestingly, it employs about 300 northerners out of the 360 people that currently works there. So the point have to be made very strongly, refuting the claims and those reports that were misleading and deliberately misrepresented to create an impression as though Ken does not like Northerners. And interestingly, this thing only resurfaces anytime you are going to have election, where it's almost being used as a tool, being weaponized also by some politicians to create an impression that other group, other tribal group do not like the other. We dissociate ourselves from such campaign. But of course, like I indicated, we will also not allow anyone to blackmail us into silence when it comes to religious lines. If chiefs are being compelled to call delegates, to ask them or force them to vote in a certain direction, and also there are also delegates that has been threatened against harm, and of course there are also threat of banishment, all on the basis that they support Ken. I'm not sure if you're a leader, you just leave it hanging. Obviously you condemn him and also ask for inclusivity and of course, some political.
How is the campaign going though? Where is Ken these days?
Campaign is so well. Ken, as at now, is on his 11th region, which happens to be the Eastern region. Just yesterday in the evening, he took a break, has to embark on some few personal rounds, and hopefully in the next 2 days he will also proceed. But of course, our message is really going on well. Our message has been simple. In 3 phases, I would say it's premised on jobs, yes, and that's what he's preaching. Especially, you recall, Paul, yesterday, the unfortunate incident that happened where young people had to lose their lives in their search of jobs. Of course, Ken is not promising to come and solve every problem in the country. But within the first 4 years that any person will have as a president, with the right environment, empowering the private sector, and of course, taking those bold initiatives and bold decisions, I am very confident that we'll be able to reduce unemployment and create decent jobs for our people. Not only decent jobs, but also even those who are working, who are underpaid. The Ken's principle is that when the economy boosts, which of course there are a lot of job creation, people's salary also going to be affected, and people are also going to live the decent life. So that the American dream that people are living in America, the UK dream that people are living, we can also live the Ghanaian dream.
Which is the Ghanaian dream, which is that you will have a job.
You have a decent life.
Exactly,
decent life. Of course, decent life will mean that you at least have a means of livelihood. So that if you want to rent a beautiful place, you should be able to. If you want to change your car, or if you want to have access to car, especially after working for a reasonable period of time, say 5 years, 6 years, this should be basic, and it's also basic in other jurisdictions, other countries. There is a global trend, and especially when it comes to our jurisdiction, it's on the rise, where a lot of young graduates have to pretend as though they want to pursue further studies. Most of them, recently I was in Canada, most of the students that go to Canada and other jurisdictions, most of them do not even go to school. They just end up driving Uber and engaging in other menial jobs, all because in their home country they are unable to live very decent life and the Ghanaian dream. So Ken is of the view that when you name unemployment to the barest minimum, at least the decency that is associated with the human life and of course the dignity that we all deserve, we should be able to get it as God's children.
That's interesting. There's a narrative that this NPP race may be too tight. Is it true?
I beg to differ. Of course, I respect those views. For me, especially from where I'm coming from, is a feedback to us to ensure that we really work hard. But from how the grounds are and how the delegates are receiving our message, you realize that the delegates is about 1.16% of the entire general voter population, which is about 18 million, because the delegates is about 218,000. If you do the mathematics, you realize about 1.16%. So at the end of the day, the delegates also are listening to what the majority of Ghanaians are calling for. If you sit in trust, people are calling for Ken. If you enter the malls, Ken. They say it in a very simple language, especially in the markets. More the Ken buy a bed, So I have the impression, I have the conviction that this message is really sinking to the delegates. That yes, all the other candidates are capable. They are all, I mean, very great and nice gentlemen. But within the exigency of the moment, the timing, people are saying that more they can buy a better. And for me, that gives him the added advantage, that credibility, that trust. It's not only about marketability, but it's also an aggregation of marketability and visibility. You know, marketability may just be, marketability will have to be acceptability, and visibility will have to be presence. In the case of Ken, maybe unlike all other candidates, Ken is both marketable and visible. And for me, it gives him that advantage, that presence of visibility. And of course, that aspect where a lot of Ghanaians trust him, they place value on him, that Ken is honest, Ken is bold, Ken is patriotic, Ken is somebody who will not tolerate ABCD, especially at a time like where we believe that most of our challenges has always been issues of discipline. We will need that leader who can make strong decisions. I believe strongly that Ken has another advantage. I don't see it as a tight race. I see one of Ken is going to win. I'm looking at between 62 to 64%.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yes,
Ken is going to win.
Yes, all
straight away.
Yeah, all things being equal, between 62 to 64%. Because currently, Paul, the Brian Champon factor has also changed a lot of the dynamics.
Yeah.
Where, of course, I wouldn't pretend that he's also not maybe snatching some of Ken's supporters, but out of every 10 people that goes to Brian Champo's camp, chances are that 9 of them are from the Dr. Baumia's camp. So he's really changed the dynamics, coupled with the fact that delegates believe that we need to present somebody who Ghanaians want and are ready to vote for. It gives him some added advantage. So I'm very confident that Ken will emerge victorious.
Chese kwesi kwaten ena yakọ akwakotie ne nsem ade aba ne nyina no efa this tribal politics achese sisi ano between Kennedy camp and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia camp asole ewo ho no nanudu sem ena wode atudwa no mabeja fo atena se eja ye ba betwetwe nkomo ede afa oman Ghana ho Kweku Debra NPP communication team member saso ena Laurel Dadzi NDC communication team member memo nyina akwa abashonko ede abadwume die Yesu Laurel bibi aboko de
bogo na ozo e
oba de na daroma me nso me hu ye papa Kweku na ozo e
oba de daroma me hu ye pa
pacho no ama voice no aba na opposition international nanze mo ka say bie
se bibi aboko de
nyankopon adom me hu ye papa na ozo e
oba de daroma
ye de nyankopon ase I think say emre no ekwa ankasa ntino ye nsa emre ye betu fa na ejanse mama boabo ano nde no yakasa ede alfa ho de kan enrada chese His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ebra chese Chief Justice Bafo Boni ja si ade yaso ani inewie no ensama wodi tu dwa fa ho se onfa hye ni tirem se case biala wo be deal with bia no ejina ho ede ma eye nipa abrabo futu a meka ne se ye mampeni Edemano no Laurel we take on that any day this whole Chief Justice Bafubone wonsense me
na de metimi akakra ne say wa won say ye mampanyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama obadwuma ye de akonwa ne ma no NDC for party no ne members ne won no ye adwuma no bia ni adwuma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama eye wokroma ni semna oka no sese Mahama akonwa no otisi no opregana yedie because they nkonya ne kwhye nkofo bisa ama mo se Ghana pamsam ama omaye wo kire but His Excellency abayi ono the pepe to the dawo on the man of justice it is say ya appointed Bafo Boni Chief Justice na odembra ne beye di opebia no ye nye ne sa because ye na ye oman ba ko Ghana wo ni ye enti so many be ya ejina meno what they make say. So it will not come to a point say bia Chief Justice ebekwa ko rule in favor of NDC and I say obesevu ye nyina no wa besu ye nyina e bia na make say sebi nyansa eni ba ku fotrim His Excellency John Dramani Mahama oto no onko form sutu ne fo it the Chief Justice ya appointing abano adwuma no oba ya mo my Ghana o be say oba ya ma NDC fo there be it to enkofo bitrim it the John Dramani Mahama e kan say Chief Justice bana oba no on be sum ye nyina ono kra na se waka so one comment na e kon na nenam social media and say so wo na bam on so your party member na so do betina konyan so if you go straight to the rules now emani no undi when your friends so man panyini papa enye enkofo bi dia ye hu ye aketa she say koso project dreams che kra no excellency former president Nana Addanko Akufo-Addo on the mentia video so ndi na tamimi ni panyini bi atem na dwuma be boy sana wadasna ni na we de egu abonten sika manfo di wo kroma no yakoka Ghana for my nen e mayenka president excellency John Dramani Mahama de otakonya izun on your pepe no oye ne ope anything o appoint chief justice obetimi aye de aye adwuma no it wa catch and say onfo no kredie enye den emfa bebu amemu na 2 million ya de ya de ahye ne san obu ya de 2 million na de ope no oye den oye but obi so so ya de mana o mani ye nti ogene ho emma bibia de ekoye se de Ghana akwakodu no ya reset Ghana no ya reset ya ma Miami nuanom NPP fo yo won say adwuma Dramani Mahama ebo no we die ya betene chirai de ache eti na de betimi aka ne say oba be ye adwuma na Ghana man no amba say oba ya ma NDC fo
okay kweku Debra maminti e won so take on
I think so menu na kan sem bebre na simple but the way of the call wada ye na mani mu ayede na mani mu yede pa ni mani mu ayede ene mo na mo say inflation about single digit inflation and so ene adia first now the 5 cities to and also the 7 cities neto this is the kind of mani mu ayede menu ano yede kama menu topic ya odi amami enra me him topic na me say papa we asema o kai no that he really understand what he said. I didn't make us Senka obi fufro kra ne kan na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne kan enka enyemeya onim se ansemfo okachi onua Paul Bafo Boni no me friend onua because oye old student of Konongo Dumasi
okay
and Konongo Dumasi enua no nti obi a owie course bia ye friend onua okay onua Justice Paul Bafo Boni no se enka John Mahama anka enka ye because this is the first time a certain president what to me a supervisor the dismissal of a chief justice over whimsical excuses and yawo enipa ewo krom ha His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na ena ma ya we say ono de eba gender equality gender equity otiase nti se eba emayi edie nti ne sa no na be de akire okofa oba ye nian maame na na je no poku agema say o me vice president but this is the case in the history of the Fourth Republic a sitting president has supervised a whimsical excuse of the dismissal of a sitting chief justice and if you are giving out an advisor this shouldn't be the advice that you should give to the sitting chief justice. Because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama no all the campaign all ban into abono. Ghana 40 as say at that time no, our Supreme Court was not having a representative of the NDC on the Supreme Court judges board. So when he comes to power, a bench, he is going to make sure he's going to employ majority of NDC lawyers and NDC judges. And that is the agenda His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is now pursuing. And look, it is an agenda, it is going to jeopardize the very foundation of our democracy. Okay. Of which His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, I'm a Ghana for what he says, or no, a back kabima min kabia memua on tiasie, onim de idea. Nessa untino was supervising such a very deadly trajectory. And look, Miniaba, they said the all party and they say every party that comes to power. And the position of the Chief Justice office is coterminous to the party that's in power. Because this is a very bad precedent, a very dangerous precedent that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Wateki. And this advice should go to His Justice Paul Bafo Boni. Said the advice he should take it very at heart. Men can say on fan na koma so. Na onye ehun adwuma because obi life and ye didi agro and wa bedru be dia wadru. Okay. Na mo mpanyifo wakasa bi aya na omoka. Omo say wa ma oyonko entwa nkwa. Untenu. You have supervised such a symbolic, such a whimsical excuse to dismiss an innocent soul, all because you think, say, she doesn't share the ideologies of your party. You have succeeded, but among kind who say from and so on. Now, and a son of channel, and maybe it is going to affect them. And now we can about say NPP buy Ketase Shepro Mo Minister of Finance. Answer na mo baba bemu na he was at the law court for corruption case. Mobile, what have you guys done to it? It is a Ghana for nyina den anim sem. Ye hye de mo beye. Ye se wo fa otutu abura wo busu apanyi obema won abura hwe ni tutuyem. Sei anamo sei na masha ase na ekowie no. Ye de yesu ndebe kase mu wa mo fa ye den. Mo fa ye Ghana for hwe no.
Okay, yebusu akweku Debra ena yetie wono so ne submission ewo efutu aye mampeni His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Edema Chief Justice Bafo Boni. Yebera next topic for discussion. With your full mandate, I will bring more investment to Ghana. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia ena eka sasemwe Laurel.
Nana onza minu ayika say. Onza opposition ya. No cry ya enso wo se ye den yeka. Mekasem kakra bi afa adewo opuni case oni adongo mo baye mo betina akona say 8 years after bibiano mo say bibiani omo fine asema ababeto aye kan aya na NPP for ne yawo no ana mo de ye omunioma bi ani enti o say ye from kwa no mu nam TV so no mo kasa ye adwuma ne ye no ye dim say we are doing the right thing ma make asem we nsho Baumia, this is more can be NCC so economic messiah. Se said the near digitalization and some brain or compo to not all can. On vice president, even the NPP for no crown who said Baumia Diomuyamo. And you may be some money quite much yet to abandon or investment man or deba. Only shade the back. Miss Ramo, Ayana and Sembuana say Casayam Frama or Namo tour and as a Mukani treason and Tuabwa. Now, okay, can't you about to talk about for trim? Says Ghana, and the Bia by any papa. Dear Baumia Kikas about investment, but what's it so? What's that? Say 8 good years. I didn't ask me, what me and Shamo, my Ghana. It's Yana Semua Mukika, and I'm Besame Kwame who sack. And you man a me share Sanyaman. Minute time I read this Sanyaman because a hammy. Yama full mandate na kwese obobo. Yama chance. Oh package so bobo. Oh, ya bobody we na ya onka yama me isi ya. Me kasa asem no. Eti dear Excellency former Vice President Dr. Maumba Baumia Ekeka no. Me dia ene Thomas me hu na yikura na me dia ma flip na me dem come baby. Eti on timi mba emfa investment bi amba. Sika na manfo ba be di no kroma eti enya possible ene na me mabre ene o makwa na me dia be duru anu eti am pese me dem me kasa bebre so what dey make na intimate nsem bi say na asa me hu dia me ya me ho ya reset Ghana ya reset NDC is going to sit on the throne forever and ever ekwa one party state. You met me account until about me account the investment only be on the Ghana. Digitalization and economic messiah. You come from about who on when the better as a Ghanaian kwaje bosia. And so they kwasha IMF. Esa kwaje bosia. Ntina na nsem no keka no onim di okeka nti onko tena e kire no hwe ne ye na osua de ne nombra.
Okay, kweku debra ma mintie.
Me no, I think when we have this submission will make you like what's an American I was mama on the topic in India. Like frankly speaking, have you taken your time to read the topic? No, not about baby free, but you didn't prepare before you come here. The reason is look, I think the NDC as a political party doesn't understand the structure of governance. Seriously. And no wonder he's exhibiting. No wonder. When you were talking, I kept quiet. Listen to me.
And yeah, Obi a okasa nkuana yakasa ebia nipa no nkasa wo. Obi betime kasa. Ya me ma book. Ebia I will be better than you. Kasa de okojina wuti meka. Me pacho de meka what de meka na say. People will talk. And then former president Obama.
Meji from the time.
Meji from the time. Me mama who no kra no. Say and send me what we shouldn't debate about it. Me can do crash. Mama ko dina.
You know.
Mama ko. Mama ko.
Our time say your submission. It's
the point line. Many points in the air. That be great for my media.
If fans are now betting us make catch or say each and every one time say and I'm
me come media me patch wada ma account there me patch account there me
yanko
account there me account there.
These are now the things.
Propaganda na mfa.
Some of us have been in this game for quite some time now, so these things are not new to us. In the normal, say, or yes, sir. You see, you asked a simple question. Said Dr. Bawumia we should give him the chance to, send Ghana to a different level.
Yeah.
Look, say Dr. Bawumia, he's saying it in a full mandate. Say, and he's not making empty political poetry.
Yeah.
Because opinion bia waye bia maye hupe.
Sure.
He is a leader who believes in systems. The case systems investors answer na said investors ebe fra man no ade omusika aba be share economy bi no mo no. Just omo say dey oman no mo wo kwan a mo fa so ye den aye mo niema. His Excellency Dr. Bawumia has proven time without number. Say this one
no, yeah, me too.
Very, very bad, frankly speaking.
Me too.
His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has proven time without number. Say, what's a digitized economy? I say, he understands the modernity in governance. You get it? Look, this is the same person. He championed the Ghana card, the production and the distribution of the Ghana card system. And look, on mind for omuni identity biano. You are doing things in a haste. You are doing things out of vacuum. And this is somebody who believe say before say economy be able to pound. And what say a near my buama economy to pound. Yeshemu kena. You get it?
Yeah.
Ebini your friend is saying the home address system. And then enkani answer na obeko obi fie no just yakasa ene mudu ha lotto kiosk bisia bisa me say wo kwa so masifi ene eno ane say wo ba share Google address.
Yeah.
Then the place that you are going it will show.
Sure.
That shows say on mine you are ready to do something for the economy to improve. You get it? Yeah. Look, anya bini nkukon keten. Anya bini 24-hour economy, a 24-hour economy no. They couldn't even explain to Ghanaians what they were coming to do, what they would do to even make it sustainable.
Sure.
And now it's omo year budget, no mo dia shame. 2025 budget mo di shame, 2026 budget the same thing mo sa dia shame. And that is a government that ultimately say onim she about government. And my brother was talking about Dr. Bawumia Babemu 8 years. How can you tell me this? So currently, are you trying to tell me say Nana Jeno Pokwajima is in control of the economy? Mm-hmm. That means you yourself, you don't even understand.
I say, economic master.
Please. Oh.
It's here for Ghana, Manu.
L'Oreal.
Look, if we are to go this tangent.
Like, Okasame, so my time in entire entertaining.
And I say, baby, of course, yes, Anna. Me chain.
Yeah, you need sound in the free mountain. Yes, I am.
That's fine. So the issue is His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Onuna Okasema, Okasa Obeja. And then I am working on the health sector. It got to a time. Snake vaccine. So waka obi a home. Ansan ye benya vaccine. Edi awo se nipa no. Ana snake venom mechanism anti snake di awo se nipa no. Ni a bre. And they due to zip line. NDC for opposition. Omo current minister for communication, right? Sam George was criticizing this drone delivery for medical product system. But and I say you video be our call you how the thing operates no original na feed your born in some. Look, the fact that we are doing politics doesn't mean say whatever thing that is going to benefit the country we should criticize.
Against it.
Look,
sure.
Me and say NDC ba na me ka say e bia de o maye no omo ye ade bi na be bo o man na me metena ha Enkase bi ame be politics intino. I have to criticize it. I have to bastardize it. I have to make a fool out of it. No, that is not how you teach your mind. And yes, how kind of thing you first teach your mind. And it's all better now. Now that's an idea. Look, you are doing simplistic politics. That is not how we do politics. And the next time, if you want to attack an issue, attack it from the angle the pros and cons. Asema papa yakan ontimi nye senti na mesi ontimi nye ebi asema papa yakan obetumi aye denti senti na obetumi aye me de mekwaku debra mete ha minim His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the track record of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, his agenda that he has championed when NPP was in power as a vice president, any ebini said drone delivery system, the Ghana card addressing system, and even mobile money interoperability. This is somebody who believed in a digitized economy. Oko USA, Oko Canada, Oko Australia, Oko Britain. These are the systems that they put in place. A boy and Nemino me and Yenya UK, Yenya USA, Yenya Canada, Yebeko. So if you try to bastardize everything that may His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Oba no Oba Pro, our car say, Oba nursing training allowance, Oba continue to ya. About automatic posting system no sade bano. It was something that we said no. Though we may have varied ideas, we may have different ideology with respect to politics, but as some papa yakan, so Obana Sagana for the 2 minimum note near there. I idea that one is no. What I say, maybe I no kumo movie. And so when Oba and the finance minister say 2026 they are not going to employ nurses. Yeah. This is how when they were John Dramani Mahama 1, when he was in opposition from 2012 to 2016. This was how that backlog of nurses started. You created that problem. Akufo-Addo came and solved it. No, even Akufo-Addo couldn't solve it entirely. But the problem started from John Mahama 1. You get it? This is the problem you created. Akufo-Addo came trying to solve some of the problem. And now you are saying that 2026 you are not going to employ nurses. That means 2027 you are going to employ. Do you know the number of batches of nurses in the house? It's imagine, Nyame Fasama, 2028, Ukofi. NPP abamba, you are coming to blame NPP say now nurses no go fie no. We now creating. Meanwhile, you couldn't do certain things properly. And then oko constituency bia NDC office. Sika wasn't yeditua. Sika wasn't yeditua your friend is saying. Yeditua nurses kano. Sika wasn't yeditua nurses kano. Enei yedeba NDC for constituency office. Yeditua NDC for without doing anything.
Do you have evidence on
national executive in the kind? I see every month be a sika a free Jubilee House. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Etiama NDC various constituencies the whole across Ghana no. Say sika no. Ya the ba na say yen tio omoka 10 months ni no. Ye betim ye tio omoka. This is Abanya Owo opposition. Abanya Owo opposition. They were just criticizing everything. Omoka chere Ghana for say Akufo-Addo artist kakukiri dia kwa kutu amena, which is your friend is saying National Cathedral. And now His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, when he met with the clergy, also National Cathedral was a very good initiative started by Akufo-Addo. And something when you were in opposition, you were criticizing. So should we be criticizing anything? It's my mother. When you get the opportunity to come and sit here to educate Ghanaians, Yancha Ghana for the Amanyofo. Omo policies are made by the Ghana for just say the politics for the sake of politics.
Okay, Kweku Debra, Meda was ye papa.
Me person can me bought by me on one SM, why you from so, but we also Africans.
Laurel,
Bibini penny cray.
Laurel, I am the host for the program. Laurel, I am the host for the program. Respect my viewers. Want to me bet na hanum say yeah the time and a year juma. Now at least I'm definitely going to give you time. Who will be bika? Ebi ananami will be bika. I'm going to give you time. Now waka bibi. But if you try to disrespect my viewers, I am not sure some entertaining man. Before you sat down, make sure the time I gave you time 5 good minutes. Say, faka the oba say okay you told me say what bread na baby awakwa ne nam ne ade nyina. Nti at the end of the day, ni say nipa ne making a submission na wo bo remu sana. Who affect me nkrofo a wo mo jebre. Esai wo ma da dia wo ma to bando e dey show me program. Please, kindly accord my viewers some respect. Why? MC I be right third topic for discussion mo. The third third topic tribal politics. Tribal politics ye be say enne no ade a chese etumi eboa and as tribal politics ade a emoa. Lawyer ba mintie we take on that.
Answer na me kono ya say show ni yin na ye. It's not can be say me board you be me brighty but I say me movie we say share.
No, listen, I don't have any, but you have to signal me so
okay.
I want to say something. I'm
okay. Mini problem about what you are saying. On say from Baumiana and Numasem, Ghana for Yepamacho, Yayam from so. Me bibia me evidence. Nam kame boss audio no kind me jai. Me boss audio no. It is said no claw na ase yempesi yebeka nipa na onwa yem from so na begina simpie so akase Ghana for mo fan chain ye pamacho ya yem from so ye ntie masema fine the person na wabe pa acho no onwa nim se wa ne adekwa se wedding oye no se meka so obetie de me meka na eti se bia me bra yi abetena se na o kan bibi say e bia ba o me be se ye fra bibi adansi krum me betena fidie so de bia me ka cho said 4 years and now to buy or yen a juman, me could be a me come, me co p TV I am because an adult be ball or ye juman. But in the next 4 years now, 1 year adiano. Ye name say adiana the uncle ye. The same thing implies to dear Dr. Mahmoud Baumia Laurel. May attack now, Debbie. Never question this one. Debbie, never question this one. The miniature all can. And some you are all kind of
probability Baumia now 1 year.
And no let buy.
And you are not, did he implement it? No, did you listen to his mistake?
Me tie your kind no, but me mana hu say asem na ono all kanu. Nipa na onwa ekotu franka ma o mine no.
Zipline ba omi aye ejuma.
He get na ejuma.
Oh,
Laurel.
Zipline so did you see him or did you hear him mention anything about? He is talking about the things about omi aye. The topic me mau topic. The topic a day before is for you to rehearse on the topic. You make your submission. No. It is not about favoritism. Me obi and one ma oba me show so bet me atena hono maka say I favor one side. Me people even think say me favor NDC.
No, it's not about that.
Before. But baby, it is something that me will
se umunity nine nana asema be pese me nua hu no on se eche no ba be dane enu tie ma me so me kan sa asem no
Laura me the time na ye adwuma nti no
okay, let's go to the next topic now we see next topic in here
tribal politics eboa and say eboa
okay tribal politics in a way I work no like in Ghana no yani afa bibi say tribalism me too quite sabuchi no but me who those kind of bibi say ni say I met a lot of people. Me will be free other country. Me will be free other country. Yen ne be share ye nipa baako. Me kan ba be si asem so. Nana ti asem na me kan me start film baby me ba be kan abesi asem so. Tribal politics amoka no okroma no. Eye ade bia emboa oman Ghana. Dey make what dey make na say.
Okay.
Dey make asem ansa na obekire akora say obekire na de no. Ese we starting free and akora be kasa no. You have to start from ABCD. So when I'm making my suggestion no. Don't think say ebia the person is not making sense. What ebia wo bet na no obia ni na adwena na obia ni the conscience. Obeka say oh ebia the brain can free no ebesi asem so. So when someone started ebia obi kan sama memo obi hu say ebia like nipa ne suggestion no making doesn't make sense.
I don't be so salvation.
No. Ade na ye ana make one thing a kire asem bia obia ni sibre. Me de ade kire me de ade bia no me bia me free by my brain. If I'm making my suggestion now also the main call adwene ko na nipa ba konko na dey eti o program na o dey o show TV no.
Wait, are you now talking about the topic about the tribal politics or you are saying the
American no make am be see asem so. Say about tribal politics na ye wana wan.
Okay.
Ye nipa ba ko. Ye make what the make na say. Say we see me for santimem, we see me free bunu, we see me free ya. Ye nipa ba ko. About tribalism ye hu to aboa made NPP 4 year example. We ko na simpie so o kan we see to we free ya. We see me free akamam we see me free say eti okwo to aba to me no emwan. Ye na ye kan ye wumbom as nipa ba ko. Ye ade ba ko teamwork is the most important thing. Ese didi juma. They make what they make and say. So papa mu ba se we free eto da na bia me fan se me asantini anase me fantini na bia se bi ni otie e bia ofri oyevotarian ni na bia me hu betimi aka because of said tribalism ni ntino entimi den entimi moayen but na entimi kan ye bomba ko say ye penokro ye nya atu anamo a it is going to what help us together with what we stand. Nana they make what they make say it is about tribal politics no menye den me ne omonya adwen say e bi obi ko gina we eche na obi ko gina we echi sebi e buy bring yeah one people maybe see a history no yes say His Excellency former president Awenyan baby call Jerry John Rawlings onye asantini na onfie mamu ka say na NDC e votarian kwa but no now NDC is everywhere you need papa so what I say it's about tribal politics now we see me gina no anything MYN it's me make me just say so together we what we stand and what we build that's why Americans say that in God what we trust when we say in God we trust now mu gina ade ba kuma gold oil diamond what their resources that they are having over there it's almost come with boma omoye o my bako enti about tribal politics na di yimu ba no and I say me de me omonya adwen
okay kweku mama ntewe your take on this whole tribal politics 5 minutes remember na
5 minutes which is 3:49 so I'll be closing around 3:55 I'm just flabbergasted by Mimia no the way and manner the tangential way that he's communicating but all the same I'll pardon him for that. Nana, currently Ghana we are being ruled by a party that has over the years benefited from tribal politics, which is the NDC. They have historically benefited and weaponized tribal sentiment. Look, the NDC survives on tribal politics to the extent that currently all the various institutions the level of tribalism going on there is sickening. Look, enka o mind here FFN FSE yinyina yo minor I mean different tribes coming together to form a nation no KF but certain people don't want that unity and that cohesion to go on as a country but the mechanism both NPP and NDC one way or the other, we sometimes utilize that, or we sometimes get triggered out to say the beya ibinya to me. But this current government, they are the highest beneficiaries of tribalism in this country. You get it? Say Obekaya, Abranti beyond there, I didn't say Tamale, one of the northern regions on the MPO in 2016. In the constituent. I think Honorable Suhujini, I can't quote him verbatim, so I stand to be corrected. To be corrected because in Nipanini Yanibia or Beyini Huano. Okay, at that time, 2016 campaign, John Mahama is from us, so let's vote for him. It's normal because look, if somebody is coming from this part of our country, Ashanti region. Now he's in my side or he's on my side. Now me person campaign man, now me woman man. That is what I will do. So tribal politics depends on your the current situation you find yourself. But you make it more exhibiting on now more clear. That is one thing that was all doing. We are very careful because it's very dangerous. And unim aban won why bibia manabro so to the extent say what that allegation it is alleged say even there were certain names of some of the institutions who say bia would increase say net here you be you free position and I be pam it is alleged when this current government came into power you get it from a certain tribe you get it and now even the appointment this current government, do you know, say, Mampong, Omuyi MC as a DC, there was an issue. Sabreno, Nana, Yankopon Fanny Cranes, you craft for Mokachums who were money mutia. Because untimi mami chrome, and someone what them a patron. So, times without number, the NDC has utilized and weaponized tribalism in this country when it comes to politics. But that is not the way to go. What is the way to go? The way to go is, look, I have friends around. Me now with one I'm a friend. Only one guy, or you're not in Adamu, or you're not very intelligent guy. He's not an Asante. I am an Asante. Okay. So we should rather try to mine the intelligent ones from if that person doesn't qualify, I should just give it to him. No. Omo qualify no, irrespective of your race, irrespective of your color, irrespective of your tribe. You should be given the appointment. But what shall I buy Remudia? Oma ye bibia magana for who say, Omo de tribalism no. Esan say that is their victory card in Intino. They just do it glaringly for everybody to know. It's be the meeting I can say ye ma wakonya say be di o man ni mu a. Enye bibia na se be wo say wo ka ana say o ye e ma manfo hu say wo ye yi mu ana say o ye bibi say. What let me patch on. Eti mintimi blemu NPP, mintimi blemu NDC. But omo ye e ma ne dead pa.
Okay, Kweku Meda was ye papa. In fact, Emreno Ekontino. Or last and final word, 1 minute.
I think that Mechia the good people of NPP in Ashanti region. Okay. Na Machia Michael Oseibuatin Poop, the former original organizer. Na Machia Nana Mampuma, the current Ashanti regional women organizer. Na Machia Jennifer for you are me Baba Kope. Na Machia, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Na Makati to a Sia Henny to a Henny for say. Momayan His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Enko. No, or walk and Swadi Huna say the party in the Ghana Senensa or the Ghana Ebeko a different level. No, I'm on my tumpo.
Okay, Meda was say L'Oreal also 1 minute to be a
NDC party members in Asqua constituency. And I'm a chair regional chairman. Nana Kwesi, yes, Sunday no. And the vice Muna Yakwa Yebi, Amubo Mumodempa, yeah. So, Mode party na kusim pempenso also. And I'm a chairman now for more Germany. Or Semela, Enere, or more Hanover. Yeah, I'm a chomusina, Elibuati Munina, so Hanover, Germany. And you know.
Okay.
Why?
Okay, Meda wasi ye papa. Ebusia yeah Kweku Debra NPP communication team member so na Laurel Ajenim Dadzi NDC communication team member nande meto ensa efre womo a womo be ka me ho aye twetwe enkomo edefa wo man Ghana ho. In fact comment section na se nya asem keto amanfo ntiase na ntia me pon 4 o'clock ebisi mi mie phone nice me read comment ni ade but unfortunately emre ena me di ejuma trust me say nya Adumechina Thursday, no communicator. But idea maybe phone lines no. Edia to me, in fact, Emilia will comment. They are doors to ye papa Yampechina Thursday. Maybe a phone lines no. Ede atum. Now from next week, air console no. Yabeya no NPP because NPP about one ebe basu no. NPP Bawumia camp na ebia Kennedy camp near no ma bediesia na ye ne wo mo atwetwe nkomo Brian Champion camp anase ebia Kennedy camp or Brian Champion with Bawumia camp no ma betina ha no na ye no mo atwetwe nkomo from next week no trust me say sa pepepe e na ye be ye no djume kwa je sende wo so amase ametumi e de djume de be so mo e Lionage Clinic GH me ba cha wo ye bema wo bema no aye keto wo de ne ye full stop wo de ne ye koma anase wo de ne de wani bo ba ni ma na just wa pepe de egu honom de a me ba cha me kan for Lionage for de ama ko hu wo mo na wo mo ma wundura be twe bema na ba abonto wo mo ma wundura je se wo gi na oba so na wo si wa gege ma oba na kasa no ebetumi etuche ede anwa de bia me kam se be ma de wo pese unya respect wo fia wo sisimu ena kirebuo be ma wo be ma nya adwuma be ma we ni bo oba so anu apepe be ma wo de ne bo honum kitu abi oba ne de ko nenum kura na bibia amba de ye ka be ma wo ye be ma ye sha ase nto opono wa tamfo anim oba wo nso no fibroid e ya de atse e ha wo ye papa awo ho nsensem e ye problem e de ma wo be pa choko ho Lionage Clinic GH yare biara one ekita din bia wo man mu no e ya de so mo wa no adura wo metumi e de ama wo mo ye adwuma Mondays ekosi Saturdays anopa 8 am ekosi enwumre 6 pm a free consultation to will be memona frɛ wɔ mo a wuntie sike bia wankran ya me pacho frɛ 0559658403 sa so na wo Kumasi afrɛ wɔ mo 0558143438 na one wɔ mo entwetwe enkomo mamenda production team ni nyina se hana ATP ono the newspaper review ne beso mo camera ene MCR so Kwadjos Yabua ne sanwe juma na etwegulu sa na executive producer so Mr. Daniel Yabua Nyankopon share wom nyina mo so amoje brehwe dwumedie no from Kumasi Online TV, Thick TV and face to Friends of Ken TV mo so Nyankopon ensure mu nyina me so ametena dwem dwumedie beso mo medi ene nana ya se wanyame ya adom ekina exactly 2 p.m. ekosi 4 p.m. nana ya me no mo bedi ehia me se ekina de mebie phone lines no de atum na mo amobese mo frɛ nyina no motumi afrɛ abadwumedie no so for na ne de makra mo nyame ya adom ye besan so de ehia stay safe
ebusuafo memo bibia akwaba eye musumfo Dr. Aziz na menimu atwitwi nkomo yi wo ye bema wo tie me wo Ghana ha se anase wo amanone pacho tie me wonim se yade ba ko a ema mbema ahode won paso eba fom pa yade e fe ne diabetes anase esiche yade mema bebre na no mo battle diabetes na ade ebufu kwa ne se ombeka che bema se obede edosuwa all your life me pacho enya de papa na obebebi se ekwan be so na diabetes etumi ma bema eyemre ebusua eyenoma 9 pacho tie me dedi kan ye friend diabetic neuropathy HSA bema nerves na etumi ma obema no etumi pagya no diabetes etumi se no 2 ye wo dia ye friend no atherosclerosis HSA bema diabetes block moja from flowing into your penis inti se moja betumi aboma o penis ne etumi pagya no entumi enye diabetes na ede eyesan that so miensa diabetes etumi ma hormones na yefen testosterone no emma bema esita no etumi eba fom ene yefen hormonal imbalance and the last thing me de beja mo say diabetes se wo diabetes enuro na wo fa yefen anti-diabetic drugs no ne side effect na esa so etwe ne ho emma bema eyemre ewo paso ebusua wo go through any of this problem mpacho fa na ma ye good screen isu sisi ya na wo frame na yentwetwe nkomo ye hu ekwan befa so a ye bema wo diabetes na abafom na yetumi asaso aboa na performance akosro na waye bema wesipi na wesita yedase